Hi everyone, I welcome you to this info series on IP for startups. Myself Harish, partner at Acura IP. I'm an IP attorney by profession. I generally assist my clients with their IP requirements from be it filing or prosecuting the applications in front of the relevant IP department and till the enforcement stage. So the series that we have right now on IP for startups is basically started with an intention that to give you the viewers a basic knowledge about what is IP, what are the various forms of IP, and where does it fit into this whole aspect of startup incorporation or this whole startup process. So before I dive deep into each of the forms of IP, what are the requirements for it, and what are the things that you have to consider. This first lecture series will be mainly on a basic introduction about just an IP, and going forward we will dive into the each aspect of or each type of the IP and its requirements. So to just to give you a brief, as a startup founder or someone who is planning to start startup, you may have come across or you may be aware of many compliances that you have to comply with before you have your startup company incorporated and get it up and running. So everyone would be aware about business registrations, that you have to start with the process of whether you want to register as a private limited or an LLP, or a small entity, or these are the some things that you would have come across, or you would have understood that is the basic requirement. And that being the initial compliance process, then it opens up to a series of other compliances, like based on the type of business that you're doing, you may need a business licenses, and you may also have to comply with tax obligations, like getting your GST certificate and the other licenses. And based on the number of employees that you are going to employ, you may also have to comply with the employment labor laws. And if you're collecting data from your clients, you may also have to comply with the data privacy and security laws. And as and when you start running your business, you may also have to comply with the regular financial reporting and compliances. And depending upon the the business that you are doing, you may also have to comply if any environmental or health regulations in your industry. And another important aspect is, since you the whole aspect of providing running a business is to your consumer, then like or the customer, then you also have to be aware about consumer protection laws, so that you are not infringing on anyone's rights or your customers rights. And then also depending upon the structure of your company, if there are investors, if there are co-founders, and then you may also have to comply with various corporate governance rules. So this being various types of compliances that as a founder, or as a co-founder, you have to navigate through for legally running a business without liable for any fault, or for not complying with any of these regulations. So you have to understand the whole process. And for example, your CA will explain you about the business registrations, and including the tax obligations. Likewise, there are different professionals involved for assisting you in different stages, or different aspects of these compliances. So likewise, there is what we call as intellectual property. That's where my role come into picture, where I would be able to assist you when you have to go for IP registrations, or what are the complaint, is there any complaints that you have to do, or is there any some safeguards that you have to do. These are something that I can assist you, or my team can assist you. Now that is what this whole series is going to be on, that to give you a very broad perspective on what is IP, and when does it you have to take a decision on whether you have to go for an IP. So that's the overall objective of the series, so that it gives you a very easy one-stop solution or a one-stop place where you can to get a basic details. So now you have heard enough about IP, intellectual property. What is IP basically? To just summarize, or to just put it in few words, IP is nothing but creation of mind. That is something that you create. It's an intangible asset, as we call it. It's basically creation of mind. Now, what is this creation of mind? This creation of mind can be in a form of artistic expression, like be it paintings, or any kind of intellectual creations. The basic being, like the it can be an invention or a process or any technology, and it could be your brand that you are creating. So all of this are called intellectual property. Basically, these are creations of mind. Now, okay, this is a creation of mine. Now, why do you want to, why should you protect it? What is the reason, or what is the logic that, why should you protect it? Firstly, it's your creation of mind. Now, how would you feel, if it is copied by someone else? Like, you have come up with a software code, then you see that the competitor has taken it and implemented it in their process. Now, would you feel disadvantaged that your intellectual creation is being misused or copied without giving any due credits to you in terms of monetary or any other credit to you, and they are using it? So that's why IP protection, or why IP protection has to be taken, so that you stop others from blatantly copying it, or using it in their competitors using it in their products to or confusing their consumers or the customers to think that it is your product that they are selling. So likewise, depending upon the type of creation of mine, you have to take different types of protection. So when you take the protection, what it gives you, you basically stop others from using it. And if you have come up with an invention, so the inventor gets credited inventor recognition for it. And if you have the exclusivity, for example, you have an IP protection for your brand, now you can stop others from copying it. So you have exclusivity to use that particular brand. Or even if you have an invention and you get IP protection or a patent protection basically for that, you can stop others from using that particular technology. So you have a competitive edge over your competitors on using a particular technology. And even if you have a technology and you are not using it, you can still license to your competitors, or to multiple competitors to use your technology and generate licensing income out of it. And having an IP protection is always attractive to your investors, because if without a protection, their investment is not safeguarded. So if you have an IP protection, investors are more likely to invest in your business, so that they know that their investment is safeguarded, and then it will not be taken up or copied by some other competitors. So it is very attractive to the investors. And also, if you have a huge portfolio of an intellectual property as part of your company, you can also get it valued, and get more. You can generate more money out of it by by getting more for example, banks give loan for the type of patents that you have and the valuation it holds. So different types of income can be generated using this using your own IP. And lastly, IP also drives foreign investment and economic growth in your growth in your company, and growth in your field overall, the national economic growth. So these are few, very very generic points on why you should have IP protected. So to also end this discussion on the introduction, I would like to just briefly tell you about the type of IP which is there, which we will be seeing separately as part of series, focusing on one particular IP in detail, so that it actually gives you an idea on what is what. So patents, you would have heard a lot about the term patents, which is used very widely by a lot of people in the industry, that I have a patent for this, I have a patent pending for this. So what are patents? Patents are generally given for your inventions. Inventions could be a product or it could be a process. And next you have the copyright. Copyright is mainly for any literary, artistic, or sound recording. So paintings are protected by copyright. In software industry, software is protected by copyright. So likewise, different types of creations are protected by copyright. And you have industrial designs. What is industrial design? You have a very innovative product which is also aesthetically pleasing to your consumers. It has a unique design, which you want to protect, so that your competitor will not copy that particular design. Then design, industrial design is a place where you can get a protection under that particular field of IP, so that your design cannot be copied. And then you also have your brands. So the whole identity of your company is revolving around your brand, or a brand of your product. So you don't want anyone else to copy it in a identical way, or even in a similar way, by making minor changes to copy and show it to your consumer that they are also basically sell your product, pretending to be you by the the copycats in the market. So trademark protects misuse of your brand name. And lastly, we also have trade secrets. If you feel that you don't want to disclose it to outside, because the basic requirement of any IP, like patent, or even the copyright, is that you disclose it to the patent office, so that it's available for the public to see. Now you don't want to disclose it to anyone, you want to keep it to secret, then you can have it as a trade secret. There are certain safeguards that you have to do, that we will separately discuss in the under the trade secrets. So these are the different types of IP which is available, and there are separate protection process for each of these type of IP. Sometimes it might be easy for you to immediately identify which type of IP your creation falls under. For example, brand name, it will be trademark. If you come up with any new product or a process which is very new and innovative, and it falls under the definition of inventions, it is patentable. And likewise, as I said, if you come up with a very unique design for your product, you may want to protect that design. It goes under industrial designs. So likewise, sometimes it's easy to for you to identify which type of intellectual property your product belongs to. Sometimes it becomes a little difficult. It may fall under either of, like, your product may be protected by the patents as well, and copyright as well, and the design as well. So there are different overlapping aspects of IP in a single product as well. So these are a few nuances that you might not be able to immediately identify it. But the objective of this particular info series is to provide you how to identify such nuances, and how to go about taking a decision on whether you want to go for a protection on patent or any other type of IP. So that is what I would like to explain in the further down the series on each of these topics. And at the end of overall, maybe after 4 or 5 series, you will be able to take a strategic decision for your business on how to go about it. And so that's it on the introduction. So I will look forward for to discuss further on all of these topics, and hopefully you find it informative. Thanks for your time. See you on the next video.